Okay, so today I will be dealing with the second unit, morphology and classification of bacteria. So this is very important because you need to know what is basically the anatomy and what is the classification of the bacteria and what are the various methods by which the bacteria can be recognized. That is the staining technique. Plus, you will be also learning something about how the bacteria grows or how it replicates. So basically all these things we'll be looking into this particular unit. Okay. So I will be starting my class and we will be looking into detail what is the morphology and classification of the bacteria. I hope my voice is audible to all.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
fine.
Yes, sir.
Is the PPT visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. So we will be dealing with morphology and classification of bacteria. Yes, what are the learning objectives of this particular unit, or what the student or what you will be what you will be doing once this unit is done or once this unit is completed? Okay, so first and foremost thing, once you complete this particular unit, the objective of this particular teaching session is to make you all understand the difference between what is prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So this prokaryotic and eukaryotic, already you people have studied it in the 12th standard. And once again in general we will be looking into. Okay, so the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. And second, you will be able to describe the structure of bacterial cell and explain the functions of its components. This is also very important. So this is one of the most important questions in this particular unit. This is a very important question here. Usually the favorite of all the examiners. I request the students to please mute yourself. It disturbs a lot. Please mute yourself. Okay, so this is one of the favorite questions of all the examiners, describing the structure of a bacterial cell and explaining the functions of each components. Okay, so after this you will be able to explain why the cell wall forms the basis for the classification of bacteria, how it is very important. The cell wall plays a very important role for classification of the bacteria and how it is done. And you will be learning about structural modifications, like what is flagella of the cell and their functions and their importance. So this is in general what you're going to observe in this particular, or what you're going to study in this particular unit once we complete the whole unit. Okay. Yes. So first thing is you will be we will look into the introduction of what is bacteria. Okay, so is the speed fine or I am too fast? It's fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So we will look into what is bacteria. So bacteria is a unicellular, that is a single cell. Unicellular is a single cell. The meaning of unicellular is single, and it is a free living, right? It is a free living microscopic microorganism. So it is a free living microscopic organism which is not been visualized by the bare eyes. You cannot see the bacteria and viruses with your bare eyes, right? You need a microscope to visualize it. So that is why it is called as a microscopic microorganism. And what is this capable of? It is capable of performing all the essential functions of life. Like it has life, so it can replicate. Okay, so it can grow from 1 to so many lakhs together, right? So right now you can imagine how the coronavirus is spreading about. So it is not able, or we are not able to visualize it with our bare eyes, but it is very microscopic organism, and it can perform the function of replication and causing the disease into the individuals. So that is how all the bacteria, viruses, and all are a free living microscopic microorganisms. Yes. Then the second important characteristics of bacteria, what we can look into, is they possess both deoxyribose nucleic acid, the short form of it is DNA, and ribose nucleic acid, that is RNA. So they possess both the things in the nucleus, DNA as well as the RNA. So these are the basic unit where they are responsible for living and replication. Okay. Then the third important characteristic of bacteria is they are prokaryotic microorganisms that do not contain chlorophyll. Okay, that is the major difference, how or where we differentiate prokaryotics with the eukaryotics. So prokaryotics are the animal cells, okay, like bacteria, and eukaryotics are the plant cells, okay, which possess the chlorophyll. So that is the major difference between the prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells. So both these things you have studied it in your PUC science in detailed way. You have carried out dissection, you have stained the cells, you have observed those cells under the microscope, and you have very well drawn those things in your project books. But now we will be only dealing with the prokaryotic microorganisms. We will not deal with eukaryotics because microbiology deals with prokaryotic cells. So what is the major difference here is prokaryotic microorganisms do not contain chlorophyll. So that is the thing which is present in the eukaryotic cells, in the plant cells. Then they occur in water, soil, air, food, and all the natural environment. So you can find bacteria in all these places. In water, you can find bacteria, I mean all the microorganisms. In soil also you can find, in air you can find, in food, and all the natural environments. So all the places the unicellular organisms are present. And last important characteristic is they can survive in extreme of temperatures. Okay, some of the bacteria or some of the microorganisms are very much like strong, where they can survive at very much extreme temperature. Okay, or if you have an extensive pH, that is the per hydrogen acidity, what we call acidic condition, even they can bear that particular kind of pH also. The normal neutral pH is 7. So if it is more than 7 or less than 7 also, they can bear the condition. Or they can also survive with or without oxygen. Okay, they are called as aerobics and anaerobics. With oxygen they are called as aerobics, without oxygen they are called as anaerobics. Okay, this also we will see in detail. And with various kinds of atmospheric pressure. Okay, so all these extreme situations they can survive in. So these are the basic characteristics of the bacteria. So I hope this is clear with
So why
Yes,
can
sir.
present in protein and RNA?
yes madam. This particular slides I will be sharing with you all in the Google Classroom. Don't worry. Now you please don't sit writing the things. You just concentrate on the class. And if any doubts are there at the end of the class or in the chat box, you can post the things, or you can very well ask the doubts at the end. Okay, please don't sit copying the notes now. This particular PPT we will be posting into your Google Classroom group also. Don't worry. I'll create a group and I'll post it. So till here, this is fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, then jumping to the next part, that is the size of bacteria. Now, you know, there are various kinds of bacteria what we have studied. Okay, like in the previous explanation I have told now. Now, how this size of bacteria is calculated, or what is the range, or what is the value for it, how we can calculate that particular size. So bacteria are very small microorganisms which are visible only under microscope. This is the fixed thing. Okay, you cannot visualize them under with your bare eyes. Then they have various size range which ranges in microns. So now the size here of the bacteria is counted in the microns. Okay, bacteria are stained by staining reagents and then they are visualized under high power magnification. So in microscope, you have high power magnification microscope that is up to 1000 level of zooming capacity. Okay, that particular microscope has the capacity to zoom up to 1000 level, 1000x compared to the compound microscope. Okay, and this bacteria are stained. They are given some particular kind of coloring with the help of stains. Okay, this you have done in your PUC also. With the cells you have stained with Indian ink. Okay, or Albert stain. You have done this in PUC. Colors, red color, blue color staining and all those things. Once again, we will look into details in further classes. Okay, so with the help of staining only, you can visualize the bacteria, and with the help of high power microscope with magnification of 1000x. And the size range of microorganisms of the bacteria is calculated in the microns. So this is very important for your MCQ and other things. Okay, so you need to remember. Okay, an electron microscope is used for the clear visualization of the internal structures of the bacteria. So you need an electron microscope to find out in detail the internal structure of the bacteria. So with the help of electron microscope, you can visualize the internal structures. So this is also important here. 2 or 3 things are important for your MCQ. So the range of bacteria or the size of the bacteria is calculated in terms of microns. Then an electron microscope is used for visualization of the internal structure. So these are certain things where you need to concentrate for your MCQ questions, for your examination point of view. Okay. So I hope this point is clear. Size of the bacteria, how it is
Yes, sir.
visualized and all those things. Am I going fast
Yes,
or
sir.
the speed is
No,
fine?
just fine, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, everybody is
Fine.
understanding it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Then now moving on to a further part of it, the unit of measurement in bacteriology is microns, as I've told you in the earlier ones. So you can see how the calculation is done. 1 micrometer is equal to 1 by 1000 millimeters, millimicrons. I'm sorry.
Sir,
It's,
your voice is breaking.
hello. Is it clear now?
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Is it clear
Yes,
now?
sir.
Is
Yes,
it
sir.
clear?
Now it's clear.
Yeah, fine.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we need to remember here is the unit of measurement of bacteriology is in the microns. So based on the microscope, these values are given. Okay. And usually the normal bacteria of medical importance ranges from 0.2 to 1.5 microns in diameter and 3 to 5 millimicrons in the length and diameter. Usually this is the standard size of the bacteria in the for the medical importance. So this is how the size of bacteria is calculated or taken into consideration. Okay, so remembering the important point here is, hello, hello. So the important point here is
Yes, sir. It's
Yes, sir.
the unit of measurement you need to remember, that is the microns. Okay, so this is how the cell of the prokaryotics and eukaryotics looks. So you have done this dissection under the microscope in your PUC and these things you have found out. So now at the
yes, sir.
one side you have a prokaryotic cell where it has a cell membrane, it has a chromosome, and it has a cell wall. Okay, and at the other side you have a eukaryotic cell where it has chromosomes, cell membrane, nucleolus, nucleus, nuclear membrane, internal membranes, which are all present here. So almost the size matters here. You can see 10 microns and 100 microns here. But almost all the other parts of it is the same one. So this is how the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells look into when you visualize it under the microscope. Okay. Yes. Now, coming to the next step of it. Okay. What is prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells? So based on the organization of the cellular structures, the cells are divided into two groups, eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. So eukaryotic cells types are hello. The eukaryotic cell types are the animals,
Yes,
Yes,
plants, fungi, and protozoas. And the prokaryotic cells are the bacteria. Okay. So these are the two basic classification of the cells, eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. So now here further classes onwards, we will be only concentrating on the prokaryotic cell types because we are dealing with the bacterial morphology. So we will not look into eukaryotic cells. That will be taking up further. So now we will be only dealing with the prokaryotic cell type, which is the bacterial cell. Okay. So basically here two things you need to remember, that is eukaryotic cell and prokaryotic cells. Yes. Then now moving a step ahead again, a prokaryotic cell. What is a prokaryotic cell? So these are the molecules surrounded by a membrane and a cell wall. So you have seen here, it is a molecule surrounded by a membrane and a cell wall. Cell membrane is there and a cell wall is there. You can look into this image here. Okay. Then they lack a true nucleus and they don't have a membrane bound organelles like mitochondria and ribosomes and other things. So you can see there is no presence of a other organelles which are present in the eukaryotic cells. Here there is only a chromosome, there is a cell wall and a cell membrane. That is the difference between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Then the larger surface to volume ratio, the nutrients can easily and rapidly reach any part of the cells into the interior structure. Okay, so because it lacks the true cell membrane. Hello?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, can you adjust your mic
I am holding it correctly
far
only.
away from your...
Is it fine now?
No, sir, that air voice.
Is it fine now?
Okay, sir.
Okay, I have 10 minutes left in the class.
Okay, sir.
And next week onwards, we'll be shifting on to Google Meet classrooms. Okay, y'all please download that app and we will have full-fledged classes through Google Meet. Please download that app and henceforth all the classes will be on Google Meet. Okay? Done.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the structure of the bacteria. You can have a look of it, how the bacterial structure looks when you have a visualization under the microscope. What all things you can observe. So a bacteria has the cell of the bacteria looks like this. There is a capsule, there is a cytoplasm, there is ribosomes, there are cell wall, there is a plasma membrane, there is a DNA and a nuclear area, then there is plasmid, there is flagella, flagella is the tail, it has fimbriae, like hair-like structures here, what you can see, and you have mesosomes and other inclusions in the cell of the particular organism. So this is how it looks under the microscope. This is what is the look of the bacteria, how you can visualize. Okay. So now again, we will move a step further and we will look into the anatomy of the bacterial cell. So one by one step ahead we are going. Okay. Okay. So the first part is the outer layer of the bacterial cell. So it has basically two components. There is a rigid cell wall and there is a cytoplasmic membrane which is present beneath the cell wall. Okay, there is a rigid cell wall and there is a cytoplasmic membrane, that is the outer layer covering of it. Then what is cytoplasm now, and what is the inclusions present in the cytoplasm? So cytoplasm is the membrane present inside the cell, and the inclusions present here are the ribosomes, mesosomes, genetic materials. So in detail we will see what are the individual functions of these things. Okay. Then we have additional structures like capsule, flagella, fimbriae. Fimbriae is also called as pili. Okay. And there are spores. So these are the additional structures what we can observe, like capsule, flagella, fimbriae or pili. The other word for fimbriae is called as pili. And last part is the spores. So this is what is the structure of the bacterial cell. Yeah. So outer layer has two components, the cell wall and a cytoplasmic membrane. Then again in the cytoplasmic membrane, we have inclusions like ribosomes, mesosomes and genetic material, and some of the additional structures like capsule, flagella, fimbriae and spores. These are seen outside. Cytoplasm is inside and additional structures are the outside ones. Okay. So now one by one in detail we will have a look of it and what is the importance of those particular components. We will look into one by one with starting from cell wall. So what is the cell wall? It is the outermost layer enclosing the cytoplasm. So this is how the chemical structure of the cell wall is. You can see how the peptide bonding is present between two cells. So it is 10 to 25 nanometers thick and it is composed of peptidoglycans, proteins, basically the proteins, peptidoglycans. Red color structure you can see in between, how it is present between both the cells. So this is just for your understanding how the cell wall looks. Chemically, the chemical structure of the cell wall, how it looks. Yeah. Then coming again to the details of it, the chemical nature of the cell wall helps the division of the bacteria into two broad groups. So with the help of chemical nature of the cell wall, the bacteria can be divided into two small groups again, broad groups. That is gram positive and gram negative. So what is this gram negative and positive is? Gram, first of all, is the name of the scientist who found out a kind of staining called as gram staining, where based on this gram staining, he classified the bacteria as gram positive and gram negative. So what is this gram positive negative? In detail, we will see in the further classes again. Now, at present, you remember only this thing. Based on the chemical nature of the cell wall, the bacteria can be divided into two groups. That is gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. Then the bacterial antigens carrier are very important to cause the virulence and immunity. So virulence is the disorder or the disease what the bacteria causes. And once the virulence is caused, automatically there is immunity present produced into the body. Okay. So the bacterial antigens are important. Why? Because they cause virulence as well as the production of immunity into the individual cells. Then several antibiotics may interfere with the cell wall synthesis. So where these particular medicines, like example penicillin, you have all heard about penicillin injection. right? So it is an antibiotic which is given to treat the infection, bacterial infections. So where this bacteria, I mean the penicillin acts is on the cell wall of the bacteria. So once the penicillin breaks down the cell wall and gets into the structure of it, it destroys the bacteria with the help, I mean, it destroys the bacteria and the nucleus of the bacteria there. And that is the reason how the bacteria dies. So the penicillin acts on the cell wall of the bacteria. So this is how the cell wall plays an important role. So it is a covering layer outside the structural, I mean the structure of the bacteria. At the structure of the bacteria, it covers it outside. So we will look into gram-positive cell wall and all in the other class. I mean the next class we will look into, okay? Because I have only 2 minutes left now. So I'll just pause here and I will stop sharing the class. And next week, again, Thursday, I will engage my class. I mean Friday. As per the timetable, what is been allotted to me, I will engage the class again at 10 o'clock next week, Friday. And please, next week onwards, we will be shifting on to the Google, GoTo Meeting. Okay, you all please download it into your mobiles or in your laptops, wherever you people find it comfortable. And next week onwards, we will be having the classes onto the Google GoTo Meeting app. So till here, is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it understandable? The content is understandable?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So
Yes,
with
sir.
this,
Yes, sir.
with this speed, is it fine if we go?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. Thank you so much.
Can
So
you send
Thank you, sir.
yeah,
sir, excuse me. Sir, can you
Thank you, sir.
send us a portion of microbiology?
portion of,
Microbiology.
yeah, your,
Because exam.
yeah, I know you have an internal coming up. Your class coordinator will be sending you the message in the group. Okay.
But
Yes, sir.
sir
Okay,
is
sir.
telling that.
All
But sir is
teachers put
telling that,
me
sir.
notes.
The first internal.
You will all get the information. Don't worry. You just
The coordinator
keep on
said
keep on observing the class group. You will get the information over there. Okay. We will put the message in that. Don't worry. Okay.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.